Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. You can click on the subscribe button, and whether you are new to the channel or not, there are links on every video where you can click, and if you find my information useful, feel free to click on the Buy Me a Coffee link. It takes you right to my page and you can donate to support my efforts to preserve more machines and more tables and basically show more of the procedures I use to restore vintage sewing machines. This video today, though, is focused on one of the most important things I use in I think I have a tools series of videos that things I use in the process of bringing these old machines back to life and waking them up and getting them to run again. So I have mentioned in the past, I think I've had a video on this before, of obviously cotton swabs. You hear me talking about them all the time in my videos when I'm working on machines because I need them. I go through quite a few. So I have purchased what you might think of as regular or standard cotton swabs, the swabs that have been around for generations now. And here there is, of course, Q-tip, which some people often call these. You may have heard me almost call them that because it's probably the only well-known national brand in North America, both the U.S. and Canada, and I have used those. And then I've used generic brands, and most stores have their own version. And you can go into most pharmacies, for example, and you'll see they often have a house brand or a store brand version, and I don't know who makes them. Maybe the same people that make Q-tips. I don't know. So this brand I got at Walmart, and then the Q-tip brand, which also has, again, what I refer to as standard common cotton swabs. They also have, and I've talked about these, the precision tips. The precision tip is a cotton swab that is made, oh, what are they saying here? I sound like I'm part of the marketing department for this company. Ideal for precision applications and reaching small spaces. And of course, I think the people who make cotton swabs figured out that people use them for things other than, what people used to use them for. I don't know what they were doing with them, but they use them for all sorts of things. And so I decided I have run out. I'm out of precision tips and I'm out of these. Well, that's kind of an emergency because I have so many cleaning procedures that I need these for. And they work beautifully for all sorts of reasons. They hold, when I want to use isopropyl alcohol and I don't want it splashing around, they hold the alcohol beautifully, and they also show me how clean something is getting because they're white to start with. So, and as you use them to clean something, they'll get really dirty, and then they'll get less dirty as you are hopefully progressing and getting all kinds of filth and grime off of your machine. So anyway, I went to one of the pharmacies in town here, and I remembered something, that when you go into a pharmacy, you will see there's a section from any of these places where you have things like you have first aid products and so forth, and you'll see cotton swabs. They're usually in some section of the pharmacy. Well, I went into the pharmacy yesterday evening, and I went there and I couldn't find them, and I asked someone, well, where are they? And they were moving. Stores are always moving things around. You never can get comfortable with where things are. So I went in, and they pointed me to cotton swabs, but they didn't point me in the area where these are because they didn't know. I think they had been moved. When you go into the pharmacy I went into, yes, they still have their own brand. This, again, I was not in the Walmart. I was in a different place, but they have their own house brand as well as the Q-tip brand of cotton swabs, and they carry the precision tips. Not every place does, and this place had those precision tips. So I'm looking around, but the first person I asked for help pointed me on a different aisle first, and I went over there, and what did I see? I saw a whole other section of cotton swabs. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why do you have cotton swabs in two parts of the store? I was, what's going on here? Well, I know that mineral oil, and I've talked to you all about that in the past, that mineral oil in a pharmacy can typically be kept in two areas. One area is for skin, where the light mineral oil, that's the mineral oil that you would use as sewing machine oil, because that's what sewing machine oil is. And then the thicker mineral oil is in a different part of the pharmacy where they have laxatives, because there are people who still apparently use that as a laxative. In any case, I am in this pharmacy and I'm in a different aisle, and guess where they sent me? I was in the cosmetics section, down on the aisle where all of that nail polish is that I often purchase to do touch-up on my machines. And they had a different section. And I thought, well, that's curious. And it says, now this is a house brand. It says Shoppers Drug Mart, and Toronto. Okay. It is called QUO. Now, QUO, I think, is a house brand for this particular pharmacy. So if you're in the U.S., you may not see this brand, but that's okay because it applies. It doesn't matter if you're what other country you are in. You may be able to find something equivalent to this. So I'm not saying, hey, go get this brand. I'm saying when you start looking for things to clean your machine with, you can look, and sometimes cosmetic counters or cosmetic departments, and a lot of the pharmacies, at least here in Canada, have cosmetics. I guess it's a big business for them, and they have all kinds of applicators. And I think I've talked about these maybe in the distant past when I was looking for a foam, something that I could use. And I'm trying to remember what I was using it for. Anyway, they have all kinds of very fine foam applicators that women use for cosmetic application. Well, in addition to that, they have all kinds of things that I was unfamiliar with, but they had all of these swabs. Now, what's interesting is that here it says it's a cotton swab variety pack. And I thought, oh, you're kidding me. What could that be? What you see, and I'm going to zoom in here because I want you to kind of get a closer look. And I'm going to open this box up for us because I need to open it because I need these. Okay, let's be smart about how we do this. Okay. All right. There are 3 types of cotton swabs in this box. And then I'll tell you how much I paid for it. And I saw one of the types was very interesting to me. Oh, it comes in different little, oh, okay. Wow. Oh, of course, you know I did this backwards, right? I opened this up, which is fine, but I think it's designed, it's got a perforation, and you know they don't always work. This one seems to be working okay. All right. Well, how about that? You can actually reach into all of these. Oh, I thought I was getting the same amount, but okay, that's fine. So if I take these out, I'm probably going to put these back in, guys, because if I don't, these little plastic flexible containers are probably, these things are going to go flying everywhere. So let's push that back in, and so I can pay attention to what I should have paid attention to. I'll close the box back up. All right, but this is what I want you to take note of. And these are color coordinated. These are paper. I have gone away from the plastic. I'm trying to get plastic out of my life. God help me, I'm trying as best I can. And these are not. These are the paper, the compressed, I call them board. They're just the hard paper versions of the stick part, and then you have the cotton on the end. So here, these little pink ones are what I would call standard cotton swabs. And they're not as wide and fluffy as, say, a Q-tip brand, but that's okay. They function fairly well, and they seem to do okay. Over here, they have provided, and they don't use the word precision tip because I think that's probably copywritten by the Q-tip folks. But looky there, I have, look at that. I have a nice pointed cotton swab. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have that. In fact, I'm going to take these out and we'll put them on here. That might actually let them show up a little bit better. And then the one that I was really interested in, and those of you who buy things like this for applying cosmetics, you probably are, this is not news to you. It was to me because I don't use cosmetics. So now look at this one. This one is also designed, and it has a much bigger wad of wad, if that's what it's called, a cotton. And then one end of it, let's move the box out of our light here, is flattened already, because I don't know if you guys, sometimes I have to take these and I'll squish it between my index finger and my thumb and trying to flatten it because I want to get it in a tight space, and it's too wide sometimes to get in some of these weird places I have to go. And I would do that same with the precision tips. When I had the Q-tip brand, I would do that, and I would do this and try to flatten them. But this one, look at this one. You can have a larger swab, which will hold more of whatever you're trying to do with it, either more dirt or more alcohol. But look at that end. Now let's zoom in. And I'll show you what I'm referring to. So now you can see, and hopefully this light will show you, this end here is already flattened. So if I hold it up like this, right? Watch as I turn it. You guys see you see the flat? It's already flattened. I am very excited to use these, and I can flatten it even more. And of course, if you moisten a cotton swab, say with alcohol, or maybe it's sewing machine oil you're using with it to clean in a tight area on a machine, when you're just not both together. If I'm cleaning, I'll put isopropyl alcohol on this, and then if I'm going to use sewing machine oil to clean or to buff a machine, I will just use the oil. I don't use them together. Just to clarify, don't ever put isopropyl alcohol on any sewing machine paint finish. You will either seriously damage it or strip it bare. I mean, it can't be overstated. Okay, and then I have this one. Look at that. It's got a big giant wad of thick cotton on it. So I believe that these, particularly these, are very useful to people who are applying some form of cosmetics. I don't know what. Those of you who use them, you can put that in the comments and educate me on that. But, oh, and how much was this? Now this is a house brand, right? This is not a national brand with a big advertising budget. It is QUO. I don't know what it means. It doesn't mean anything. It's just this QUO Beauty and some other acronym that doesn't really have much meaning for me. So I paid, it contains 200, 120, and 65. So 385 total swabs. Okay? But 385 total swabs, it was about $9. And let's see, what did I pay for these? The precision tips were, I want to say they were easily $6 or more, $6.75 for 170, right? So they were more expensive, but that's the Q-tip national brand, and it's precision tips, which are more than the regular Q-tips. This Equate, I want to say, what did this cost me? The Equate, of course, is it was the store brand for Walmart, and I think, gosh, folks, I don't remember what I paid, $6 or more, maybe $7. It's got 500 in it. So yeah, the house brand regular cotton swabs were cheaper, but again, what is the difference? The difference is, okay, that was for 500. So I paid what? Several dollars more for this box. This box will last me a while, maybe a good 3 months, maybe. Depends on how many machines I'm coming across my bench. But the main takeaway here is that it has, oh, here we go. It says precision tip swabs. Okay. Look, it says precise tip. So they were very careful not to get themselves in copyright conflict with the Q-tip folks. But it says precise tip. Okay, same thing. And then here, the red one is color. They're all color paper. It'll say just cotton swabs, right? That's your standard run-of-the-mill regular cotton swab. And over here it says cosmetic applicator swab. Well, there we go. It answered the question for me. But this is something that you may think, why is a sewing machine channel making a whole video about cotton swabs? I'm doing this. In fact, I probably should have done it before. And the reason for that is quite simple. These are really, truly one of the most useful tools that I use, other than my screwdriver, tip set. I mean, these are things that I really can't be without because they are so incredibly useful. And that's another reason I wanted to go with the paper stalks, which are more than, in fact, I like the paper stalks because when I need to, occasionally, if I need to, I can kind of bend them, right, and kind of get them into a place that I need to. I can't really do that easily with plastic, and I don't want to, again, generate yet more plastic plastic in the landfill. I'm trying to deplastify my life. It's not easy, and if you've tried it, you know that it's not. But I try, right? I'm trying to change that behavior. But this is really useful. I'll let you know as I go along what I think of them and how they perform. I haven't used them yet, but I'm looking forward to experimenting with these and see how they function. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, I don't make a cotton swab video every day, but anyone who has ever restored, overhauled, woken up a sleepy, dormant sewing machine, you know that there's a lot to clean: dust, grime, old oil, grease, and it's really important to be able to do this with something that is absorbent, as these are. So it never occurred to me when I started this hobby that I would, that something like a cotton swab would be so important. And I guess, you don't know until you know. So anyway, I appreciate all of you watching. And if you're new to the channel, yes, this channel is about vintage sewing machine restoration, but this is one of the tools of the trade. Yes, I'm not kidding you. Fancy gourmet cotton swabs. There you go, folks. I appreciate everyone supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time.